Good morning, this is a foreigner in the Philippines. Well, you're Filipina. Does she love you or your money? This is one of the questions that haunts every expat, every foreigner that arrives in the Philippines looking for a worthy partner. So, how do you tell if she loves you or your money? Well, the one that loves money will reveal herself very soon. The one that loves you will be more interested in being with you than with your open checkbook. Oh, that's an old-fashioned way of looking at it, right? She'll want to hold your ATM card and know your password. That's probably more like it. But everybody that I talk to, every foreigner that I read a post on any of the expat sites, it's always this problem is always presented as if it's totally exclusive to the Philippines. Like every other woman in the world, in every other country, is just so disinterested in money that they're just like these paragons of virtue. But then when you get to the Philippines, boy, these are gotta be watched. Are they in it? Oh, do they just want your money? And it's just a Filipina thing. And this is so far from the truth. I remember when I was still a single parent and just hoping for a woman when I was living in Florida, I would look in the personals, and of which there are many different sites. You can go on Craigslist, you can go on just a ton of different places that you can go and look for a woman, and I would see that some of the American women there were actually, it was almost as if they wanted to know your bank account number and your social security number so that they could check what your monthly salary was. I actually saw a personal inquiry from a woman who was living in Naples, and she stipulated quite openly must earn at least $135,000 a month. I'm sorry, a year. $135,000 a year. That was her comfort zone. So this is, when you come to the Philippines, this is not if you're a foreigner coming to the Philippines and you're looking for a woman, you have all of the same problems here as you've just left. If you have money, then it's a problem in the States or in Britain or in anywhere. As soon as it becomes clear that to any woman that you have money, then the dynamic between you changes. If the woman is more interested, no matter what the country, if the woman is more interested in money, then there will be a certain exchange. They will be nice or not, depending on how free you are with your money, if they're a money grabber. If they're not a money grabber, then they'll be up there trying to go Dutch. When you go out on a date, they'll be going Dutch. They'll be paying their share. They will be more interested in finding out what your qualities of character are. Isn't it about the same here? No woman is prepared, not that's worth anything, is prepared to sacrifice themselves just for the money. There has to be a certain amount of attraction. Now, when do you start to get concerns about this? Well, if you've come at retirement age, and you're still reasonable looking, then lots of women will be interested in you. Not just for your money, but for a lot of other things. They will have made up their mind that they want security. Is that peculiar to a Filipino? No. Is it the same in the UK? Yes. Is it the same in America? Yes. Germany, Italy, France, you name them. Most women are most worried about security. Now, there are so many ugly guys out there with beautiful women, and if they can provide a certain amount of security, no matter what the country, they're going to find a woman that will be only too happy to ignore how they look, as long as they're reasonable to live with. So, when you come, don't bring all of the baggage with you from America or Britain or any of those other places that tells you you got to watch it with Filipina women because, boy, they're after the money. Is it true? Some of the time it is. Do I know which one is? No, I made mistakes. I made mistakes where I gave money too quickly. Here's where you know. This is where you know. They reveal themselves very soon. And they'll want, if they live, say, maybe they'll have a child, maybe they'll have 2 children, maybe they'll be living with their parents. There will be some emergency that has to be met, and that will be revealed fairly quickly because they'll have a power bill, or they'll want to get their hair rebonded, which is $1,500, or they'll want you to meet some expense fairly quickly, and they will want that quickly. So that tells you that's the warning sign. If that's too early, then you're going to have to be careful. Now, how careful do you want to be with a woman you are considering spending your life with? Not very careful, because you should be saying bye-bye. Then where do you go from there? Where are you meeting the woman? Well, if you're meeting the woman in a place where money is high on the agenda, like in a bar, in any kind of resort, in any kind of situation where the woman is a predator, how do you know? For my own standards, I never wanted a woman who was overtly sexual and attractive, overtly beautiful, openly beautiful, well turned out. I stayed away from that. And I made that mistake once, and on the second meeting, with an expensive dinner paid for, we did some shopping, and the woman needed boots, and I coughed up 1,500 pesos. Now, sometimes it's worth paying to know where you stand. So when I knew where I stood, as soon as I got home, I texted that woman and said, you know what, I think it would be better if I never saw you again. And I never did. So when I finally met the lady that is holding this camera right now and frowning at me, you never told me about this one, she's saying. Well, when I met her, Beth is beautiful to my eyes. She actually was told once by a foreigner that she was exotic, and she didn't understand that word and was quite offended. You were quite offended, weren't you? Because the man said that you were an exotic beauty. Well, she has her own look, which appeals very much to me. She has all of those qualities that I would want. She's fun-loving, always smiling, always happy, doesn't let me get too serious, because, let's face it, I'm an old fart, and is good for me. Now, was she interested in security? Well, not really that much, because I can't offer a great deal of security because I just don't have that much money. My standing joke on myself is I'm saving up to be broke. So when we met, it became obvious fairly quickly that security had a certain attraction, but it wasn't all that was there. She wanted to know what my character traits were, and she had different standards which had to be met. She had obviously, she wasn't dropped onto the planet when just before she met me. She'd met other men, and she had made her own judgments. And when she met me, she considered that I had the qualities that she wanted, and I had enough. I told her, look, I'm not wealthy. This is on the first meeting. I said, look, I'm not wealthy. I may have told her this before we even met in the first text. I said, first, there were several things which I was very clear on, because I expected the same thing. I told her I don't do drink, I don't smoke, and I don't do drugs. And I'm not looking for many women. I'm looking for one to have a good relationship for my life. And that I made very clear very soon. Now, how do you know whether this is meaning anything? You look at the person. If when you start talking about character, about being honest, about being loyal, and about being truthful, if when you're talking about those things you can see that she's already zoned, because loyalty, honesty, truth does not have a dollar sign in front of it. So it reveals itself very quickly, but you've got to be paying attention. Now, I know someone who is married to an extremely beautiful young woman. I would not want his problems. That's the whole thing. You have to be paying attention to the right things. Certain things will indicate to you as being important, and they're all about character. Does the woman that you're looking at have the capability of being honest, truthful, loyal? Does she have those things? Never mind whether she's beautiful, never mind whether she's sexy, never mind whether she has a beautiful body. Does she have those qualities? Now, having said that, let me give you a tip, a book. There's a book by a woman called Barbara DeAngelis, and it is titled, Are You the One for Me? That was one of the best books I ever read about how to find the right person for you. Now, my wife is already going like this, which, as I've said before, means either she's going to kill me with that big knife that she opens tin cans with, or I have to end off here. Right, so this is the thing. In Barbara DeAngelis' book, she says, you must like the way that the person looks, you must like the way that they smell, you must like the way that they talk. And I would, walk. I would add something else to those. If the person that you are considering as being the one, if she talks a lot slower than you do, or a lot faster than you do, think again. Because if she talks very slow, you will die of impatience while you'll get an answer to what's the time. People who talk very slow are best suited to other people who talk very slow. And people who talk fast should look for someone who talks fast. There's a speed and a tempo that is beyond the speech itself. That's all I would say. Good luck. Always welcome to get in touch with me. Please like, subscribe, share, and let us know how you're doing. Bye for now. This is a foreigner in the Philippines. Bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you and God bless.